water. In our modern world, the access of clean water seems to be a granted fact. Yet every day, somewhere in our world, there are people and communities who struggle to get access to clean water due to water pollution.
Ask yourself a question. How much of the world's population is suffering from this lack of clean water? 10%? 20%? 40%?
Hold on to your answer first, but for now, let us ask the question. Water pollution, what
are we doing about it?
Behind me is University Malaya Varsity Lake, one of the UM proudest attractions. It's a nice, quiet, recreational hideout for all UM students to hang out with a rich populations of aquatic fauna, and the water is clean enough for all UM students to kayak in. I've also heard about people to soak their feet here to just relax.
It's easy to think that people all around the world can have easy access to clean water, just like us. In reality, in a lot of places, getting clean water is still a luxury to a lot of people. The severity of the global water crisis is so critical that the United Nations has listed the ensuring of water and sanitation to all as one of its sustainable development goals, or SDGs for short, to be achieved by 2030. Hi, I'm Fai.
Hi, I'm Siting.
Hi, I'm Mei.
And
We're from Group 10.
We'll be your host for today, and welcome to our video for SIX 1015, Science, Technology and Society. Today we'll be presenting about water pollution.
You can find out more about us at the end of the video. Now, without further ado, let's get back to the video.
We often hear about the different effects of water pollution, causing the ecosystem disruption, causing the spread of diseases, causing lethal toxins to spread through the food chain, and the list goes on. In fact, here in Malaysia, we have been taught about water pollution and its effects to some degree since our primary school. Yet, I doubt most of us have ever given a second thought about this beyond reading for exams, except for complaining about the occasional clogged sewers around us. So before we start explaining about these issues, let's ask some of our fellow UM students about, do you know what are the causes and impacts of water pollution?
What do you think causes water pollution?
By throwing rubbish into the river, oil spill.
Plastic.
Is the discharge of the industrial wastes.
Do you think using fertilizers and pesticides cause water pollution?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Do you think household domestic waste cause water pollution?
Yes.
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 How many people in the world do you think don't have access to clean water?
Maybe 40.
40%.
I think probably like 30%. 30%.
I think about 30% of the population.
Do you know what our government is trying to do to solve water pollution?
No action.
Don't know.
For now, our governments have implemented the water treatment system like electroplatings and also like bioregulation treatments.
Do you know what you can do to stop water pollution?
Okay, for me, firstly, if I saw someone who are illegally discharged the rubbish in the river or anywhere water system, I will immediately report to the Jabatan Alam Sekitar to take an immediate actions to the perpetrators.
I don't know what is it called. It's like a robot thing where you put inside like a lake or maybe like a river. They will collect all the trashes. A lot of foreign countries have already done it, so I think Malaysia could implement that.
Reusing the water to reduce the domestic usage.
This is the river Klang, the river whose water nurtured generations of Kuala citizens. And it is even from the river transport here that Kuala Lumpur started to grow into the global metropolis it is today.
And yet, precisely due to its economic significance, the Klang River had been heavily polluted up until a major cleanup effort that lasted all the way till 2023. It even made it to the list of the world's top 50 most polluted rivers. And keep in mind, it's only 1 in 86 rivers that are considered polluted by Malaysia's Department of Statistics.
All of these rivers might be plagued by pollution from different sources,
with different factors influencing their degree of pollution. But overall, water pollution can be classified into 7 distinct groups.
Groundwater pollution, which happens when fertilizer from farms and domestic runoff, such as domestic greywater, seep into underground aquifers. Nutrient pollution, which refers to the presence of an excess nutrients, such as nitrogen and minerals in water. Microbiological pollution, which refers to the contamination of water with disease-causing pathogens, such as Salmonella and Vibrio cholerae. Suspended matter, which refers to the deposition of solid waste and suspended particles such as silt and soil in water. Thermal pollution, where human activity such as discharging power plant coolant water changes a water source quality by altering its temperature. Oxygen depletion pollution, which refers to algae blooms which dramatically increase the amount of oxygen consumed by organisms in the water, leading to a disruption to the ecosystem. And finally, chemical pollution, which is the most common type of water pollution and the type that is most familiar to most people. Chemical pollution happens when chemical pollutants such as organic solvents, heavy metals, and pesticides are discharged into water, and as we will learn through case studies later, can cause severe health issues in the population.
When we say water pollution is a severe issue for the world, most people don't have a clear picture in their mind. So let us tell you some figures regarding the effects of water pollution around the world.
44% of all wastewater on Earth returns to the natural environment untreated. 3.5 million die each year because of a lack of clean water, among which more than 1 million died as a result of diarrhea after drinking unsafe drinking water. Each day, diseases caused by drinking polluted water kill 900 children who are under 5, which means every minute 2 children die because of water pollution. And returning back to the question we asked in the beginning, depending on the research source, as much as half of the world population lack access to clean and safe drinking water.
Not only does water pollution introduce short-term effects such as acute diseases and death, it also has some long-term effects, and we'll be delving into 2 of them in this video. One being eutrophication, and the other being the introduction of toxins to the food chain.
Eutrophication is a term that describes the accumulation and enrichment of water sources with nutrients. These excess nutrients may come from industrial plantations and farms which abuse the use of chemical fertilizers, causing the excess nutrients to run off along the rainwater and eventually ending up in rivers and lakes. They may also come from chemical waste from industrial factories and leakage of human domestics such as shower water and feces due to improper plumbing system.
The accumulation of these nutrients in water can cause algae and other microorganisms to reproduce rapidly, causing what's known as an algae bloom. The overgrown algae covers the surface of water, stopping out other aquatic plants from sunlight.
Algae eventually dies. The decomposition process consumes oxygen, causing the blood oxygen demand, which is VOD, to increase. This process takes up most of the oxygen in the river or lake, causing the other aquatic fauna in the water to suffocate.
But the disaster doesn't even end here. The decomposition releases CO2 gas, or known as carbon dioxide gas, which we're sure you all know causes the greenhouse effect. But it also causes acid rain, resulting in the death of even more wildlife and the destruction of infrastructure.
Another severe effect of water pollution is the accumulation of toxins in the food chain. Let's take mercury for example. It's efficiently absorbed, but it does take quite a while for our cells to excrete it. But in nature, mercury is taken up by phytoplankton and algae as methyl mercury, which is stored in their cells. Now, small critters such as zooplankton consume algae, which results in a higher concentration of methyl mercury in the zooplankton. And in turn, the zooplankton are consumed by small fish, which are then consumed by bigger fish, and so the concentration of methyl mercury works its way up the food chain, which results in a higher concentration of methyl mercury in bigger animals.
This phenomenon where toxic substances accumulate in the tissues of organisms in increasing concentration and organisms in successively higher levels of food chain is called bioaccumulation. Sharks, the apex predator of the ocean, may have more than 100 times the concentration of mercury in their cells compared to smaller fishes such as the herring.
And here's the worst part. Effectively, anywhere in the world, humans are at the top of the food chain. So whenever we dump our heavy metal waste into rivers and oceans, all that toxic waste just works its way back up the food chain just to end up on our plates again due to bioaccumulation. So whenever we dump toxic waste into water, all we're doing is just poisoning ourselves.
Water pollution is several issues affecting our world today. So let's dive into a real-life scenario to understand its gravity.
The Minamata disease. In the mid-50s, Crop, a chemical company, established itself on the Japanese coast of Minamata Bay. This company was a major supplier of various chemicals and was economically beneficial until disaster struck. The citizens noticed their cats behaving strangely, seemingly committing suicide by jumping into the sea. Soon, people exhibited alarming symptoms like numb limbs, tremors, and difficulty walking. A 5-year-old girl suddenly lost her ability to speak and walk. Researchers discovered that Crop was releasing mercury into the water, causing a nervous system disorder pandemic.
Ever wondered which country has the highest rate of water pollution? Today, Benin in West Africa faces the worst water quality, scoring just 15.5 out of 100. Other affected countries include Togo, Bangladesh, and Cameroon.
According to WHO, around 2 million people consume contaminated water daily, and about 80% of the water is discharged without treatment, killing millions of seabirds and marine life annually.
What are we doing about this crisis?
Recently, many nations have improved sewage treatment before releasing water back into our ecosystem. However, 30% of global water pollution comes from stormwater runoff, especially during monsoons. In metropolitans like Kuala Lumpur, narrow roads cause sewage overflow, mixing with some stormwater and polluting water system.
Japan's solution is the Tokyo Underground Storm Drain, a 50-meter deep, 6.4-kilometer long tunnel system controlling stormwater and floods, even becoming a tourist attraction.
Beyond stormwater, agricultural runoffs and pesticides also contribute to waterway pollution. The UN Environmental Programme is introducing the Financing Agrochemical Reduction and Management Program, which helps farmers transition to safer practices.
Remember, all of us can contribute. Don't brand household chemicals, and we can reduce the plastic waste, and also consider installing a dry well to prevent rainwater runoff.
So, now let us recap on our topic. So, water pollution is a pressing issue. So, after we explore its definition, we found out that over 80% of the worldwide wastewater is being untreated. So, there must be a potential solution to solve this problem, from policies to personal action.
Now it's time to take action. Everyone must play their role. Conserve water, reduce plastic usage, and advocate for stricter regulations. Governments and industries need to be taken accountable for cleaner water usage.
Clean water is essential for life. By protecting it, we preserve life for future generations. Thank you for watching, and for more information or to take action, kindly scan the QR code on the screen, and together we can make a difference.
Before we end this video, we'll have a big thanks to all of our team members. So we'll start with our producer and also director, Arwena. The second one is our screenwriter, Yiheng and Hamse. And the third one is our voice actress, Zhiling, and also our presenters, 3 of us, Siting, Faik, and also Mei Yi.
We would also like to thank our lecturer, Dr. Nurzatil, for the guidance, and you, the audience, for sticking with us to the end of the video.
Last but not least, you can find the reference that we use for this video in the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code that's shown in the screen to get a list of the reference sources. And before we go, remember, water pollution affects all of us. So So let us make a change and let us stop it together.